Welcome back to Early Draft. So far we found an idea. We've studied screenplays. And now you're thinking, okay, I want to make this movie. But before you start casting actors, designing a poster, or calling investors, there's a very important question you need to answer. Do you actually have the right to make it? Let's talk about rights. Let's say you find a short story online. You love it. You think, this would make an amazing movie. You write a screenplay based on it. Congratulations. You might have written a screenplay, but that doesn't automatically mean you own the right to make the movie. Copyright generally protects the original expression of a work, and the copyright owner controls important rights, including the right to authorize adaptations. So if your movie is based on a book, short story, play, article, or another screenplay, you're dealing with underlying material. And you need to figure out who controls those rights. Now let's say you find the writer. They say, sure, you can make it. Great. But don't just shake hands and start shooting. You need an agreement. One common arrangement is an option. An option essentially gives you, the producer, the right to develop or acquire the material for a defined period under agreed terms. You're not necessarily buying everything immediately. You're securing the opportunity to move the project forward. And the exact rights, term, price, extensions, and conditions should be clearly defined in the agreement. That's why always get it in writing. And this brings us to one of the most important producer concepts, chain of title. Think of it like a chain. You need to be able to show where the rights come from and how they legally got to you. If your movie is based on a novel, for example, you should be able to trace the rights from the author or rights holder to the production company. If there are multiple writers, previous options, publishers, or other agreements involved, things can get complicated very quickly. And when you're eventually talking to financiers, distributors, festivals, or sales agents, they might want proof that your production actually controls the necessary rights. So don't wait until the movie is finished to figure this out. Start building your chain of title during development. Now, what if the script is completely original? That's much simpler. If you write an original screenplay, copyright generally arises automatically when the original work is fixed in a tangible form. But ownership can still become complicated once other people start working on the project. Writers, production companies, producers, investors, and that's why contracts matter. For example, a writer's agreement can determine whether copyright is transferred, licensed, or created as work made for hire. And if you're working with writers under the US industry system, there can also be Writers Guild requirements and protections that affect options, purchases, rewrites, credits, and other rights. You don't need to become an entertainment lawyer, but as a producer, you need to know when you need one. So here's a producer's checklist before you fall in love with a project. Who owns the material? Is it original or based on something else? Do I have the right to adapt it? Is there an existing agreement or previous claim on the material? And finally, can I prove that my production has the rights it needs? If you can't answer those questions, stop. Don't spend money yet. Don't shoot anything yet. Figure out the rights first. Because here's the thing about producing. Your job isn't only to make the movie. Your job is to make sure the movie can actually exist. And sometimes the most important thing you can do during development is to protect the project before you ever turn on a camera. That's today's lesson. If you're enjoying Early Draft, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and follow along as we build an independent film from the ground up. Next time, we're going deeper into development and talking about the screenplay itself, how an idea becomes a draft, and how that draft becomes a movie. I'll see you in the next draft.